Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Red-Rupee here with you, as always, calling the shots for you tonight, and we are on Angel Gate, looking down over the Imperial City from the battlements of the gate itself. This is a massive 3-on-3 map. Don't always do too many 3-on-3s. This is actually my first cast on Angel Gate, actually, despite having done so many games. And just every so often I get a 3-on-3 replay that I just feel like I have to cast, and we're just going to dive right in since this is a long game, as you can see from the video length, I'm sure. So let's go ahead, start rolling. Before I do the introductions, though, I want to make sure you guys know how to submit replays. I get questions pretty often about where to send replays, and you can, of course, email them to me. The email is always on my channel, so stop by there. But it's email your replays with replay in the title and preferably a brief description of the game so I know what's going on. Red-Rupee20, the number 20, at gmail.com. Send your replays there. I always watch all my replays. I can't cast them all, of course, but I'll be sure to watch them and let you know. Anyways, do that whenever you're looking to do something. Anyways, we've got Ohuevator as our Commander Knob starting off the blue team, then Dead Mopo as the Eldar Warlock, rounding out the blue team as the Imperial Guard Inquisitor. Disappointed face, or kind of impartial face right there. Then we have Legendairy on the red team. Likes his milk, that's how he got so big. The Chaos Lord. And then an End for All from the N7 chapter of the Imperial Guard as the Lord General. And the final player, Mr. Warp, as the Mech Boy. And as you can see, we already have a few altercations happening on this massive map right here. Angel Gate, as you can see, a pie-shaped map. It actually doesn't take up this entire map, but it's still a huge map. 2 power down here at the bottom, which tends to get fiercely contested for at the beginning of the game. It's kind of an interesting concept because you don't want to push the power too hard and devote all your resources to trying to hold that. But at the same time, you don't want to let your opponents really just have their way with it and build a bunch of extra power. The thing is with this map is that there's already 2 power nodes for either team, a primary and a secondary power node at the top of either side of the map there. So these kind of 3rd and 4th contested nodes aren't crucial to keeping anything really going. You can get a solid tech lead, but to build 4 power nodes worth of gen farms, you really need to be on top of the wreck game as well. So, anyways, looks like red team doing some little base defense right here as the Warlock goes in and blasted away a couple of guardsmen right there in front of Warp's base. Blue team taking the bottom part of the map right now, and really what I prefer to see is just 1 player down here kind of harassing the bottom tower, and then 2 players going up top and just doing a massive sweep around and doing a gen bash on both the primary and secondary power farms right there. But anyways, only 1 member of each team up top, and Slugger Boys charging in against an overwhelming force right there. Definitely you have to retreat as soon as they get in. They stopped the Heretics though, and a nice looking stun grenade stunning both squads of Chaos Space Marines. Commando Knob does have to fall back, but a nice play right there. Unfortunately, as soon as those Chaos Marines get into melee combat, these shooter boys are going to go down. They're making the right choice, hopping into these bunkers. Angel Gate full of bunkers down the middle here. You can see 1, 2, 3 with that building, 4 bunkers, and then of course the 2 buildings down here. So it's definitely a garrison-friendly map. So late game you can use that to your advantage by putting artillery squads in those bunkers. You see D-cannons, plasma devastators, anything like that on the field, but we don't actually have any Space Marine in a 6-player game. That's pretty rare, actually. But still a pretty nice spattering of races here. Shooter Boy still kind of holding out. Oh man, one flies out of the window there, ejected by a nice shot from some Chaos Space Marines. The weakened squad has to get out of there, though. I'm not sure they're going to make it. Getting a couple melee shots, and that's going to be the first squad down right there. 1 squad of big shooters already out of there. Noise Marines moving in along with the Combat Flamer. Legendairy knows those garrisons are nothing to mess around with. They can be a real thorn in your side in this map, and he's not going to let anything stop him from pushing that power with those Noise Marines. In the meantime, Catachin's on the field. Banshees and Warlock pushing off the Imperial Guard forces without much issue, and a squad of Catachins of his own over there for our impartial-faced friend. So blue team doing a good job of really taking the bottom part of the map, but unfortunately I feel like that's not as important in the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game on Angel Gate, I feel like you really want to hold top and defend your power. That's where the contested VP is, and that's where your natural power farms lay. And as you can see, the Noise Marines are making short work of it with the Chaos Lord of Legendary, kind of pushing Ohuevator back without much issue right here. This Chaos Lord's in a lot of trouble. The only problem with power bashing on this side of the map, or on either side of the map really, on Angel Gate, is that you're going to have to retreat right through the center part right here almost every time. And if there's a battle going on that your teammates aren't winning, you're going to be retreating right through hordes of enemy troops. And when there's Eldar and Banshees on the field, that's not what you want to be doing. You can see hopping into that garrison, but the Warlock has already purchased the Immolator. We've been seeing him use that on the Imperial Guard members, forcing those Chaos Space Marines out of their garrison. Both teams making sure they're able to deal with the garrisons early on. It looks like we already see the Inquisitor upgraded her crossbow bolt pistol, which gives her the immobilizing volley, and or the crippling volley, which does immobilize squads and do a little damage over time. And the Mech Boy already upgraded with the Def Gun. Def Gun we don't see too often in solo games, because it does make your commander rather immobile compared to any of his other weaponry. And a lot of players don't like to have an immobile commander in solo because there's so much map capping and that sort of thing going on. But in team games, that teleporting suppression can really change battles when things are blobbed up. A point-blank stun grenade going off, but Heretics get in range, hit the Doom Blast just before they get stunned. Banshee's in a bit of trouble, but man, that Warlock's causing damage wherever he goes, constantly dropping Immolates and Devastators, picking off Guardsmen and Catechins wherever he can. Mech Boy teleporting around, trying to get a good shot on these heroes, but luckily they've managed to... Oh no! Some stick bombs going down, but it's gonna cost the Commando Knob his life, possibly. He does have the extra equipment, so he's regenerating a little bit, but that focus fire from the big shooters a bit too much to handle. 500 points for the blue team still. Doing a great job of holding on here. Surprising considering how hard they got pushed up top in the beginning of the game. The bottom players on the blue team managed to neutralize that for a little while and keep the VPs from ticking down at all. That Inquisitor needs to get up there and raise that Commando Knob as soon as she can. Not really nearly as big a deal losing a hero in 3-on-3 as it is in solo, or even 2-on-2 at times, because in 2-on-2 it's kind of dangerous to pull your commander out and res a hero because you can generally have to cede your side of the map to do that. In 3-on-3 it's kind of much less of an issue to designate one hero to res and put them to the medic duty. Anyways, blue team hanging out in the middle here. Everybody's starting to roll into tier 3 here. Blue team's finally starting to lose some VP as red gets a grasp on the top contested central VP up top. Dead Mopo going a surprisingly light tier 1 with tons of requisition going into tier 2. Been doing a great job with minimal forces here against Warp. Warp down his Slugger boys. Ohuevator did bring back his second squad of shooters and invested heavily in both squads, has both knobs and big shooters on both of those squads there. Noise Marines already upgraded with their Blastmaster. Meanwhile, I'm surprised no one's gotten a detector for up here. Unfortunately, that Commando Knob wanders a bit too close to the Mech Boy. I'm sure if he hadn't done that, he could have dropped a pile of sticks right on top of those Noise Marines. And it is a bit disappointing to lose that element of surprise with that Blastmaster cannon on a hero. You always want to get that first artillery shot with either a Blastmaster or Noise Marines or Plasma Devastator, like right into a pile of troops if you can, and really turn an engagement around. But still not bad. Stop that Commando Knob from doing any damage. Little flank here by Ohuevator, taking out some power with the double big shooters. That's kind of an excellent idea. Whenever, especially on a 3s map, whenever someone's locked down and you're not quite sure how to deal with it, 3-on-3 maps are generally big enough that you can just go around it, get a flank, and take another part of the map. Unfortunately, a Blood Crusher hits the field, and man, just some nasty play there. Blood Crusher charging in, let the Galaxy burn in the retreat path. Those shooter boys, very low on HP, managing to get out with all but one member, so it didn't really matter too much. Heretics in the retreat path of Guardians, hacking up a couple members on the way out. Banshee's still running around trying to harass that Mech Boy that's been teleporting and suppressing, but they realize their time is short if they don't get the heck out of there. You can see one Banshee falling as Heretic blows themselves up. 469 to 405 as the second Gen Bash goes down for the blue team. Blue team has plenty of requisition to rebuild that if need be, but you really don't want to keep losing your power farm up here. The blue team needs to get something out at all to deal with this blood pressure. Warp Spider's coming out, probably going to help out with that. Indeed, there's already some Melta Stormtroopers on the field as well, and if the Banshees get up here, that's going to be just about it for that blood pressure. Blood pressure roars, but of course it doesn't matter. Those Stormtroopers can fire from range, and it looks like it's probably going to go down there. In the meantime, red team's finally taken back the bottom part of the map here as the blue team focuses on defending the power. Weird Boy and Stick Bomb is on the field for Warp. Really going to deal with this kind of range spam that's coming from the blue team. Blue team very heavy on the range right now. Warp Spiders realizing they're kind of out of position, fall back into a better spot. And we can see, wow, Inquisitor actually with the crossbow bolt pistol and the Excruciators and the Liber Heresius, which I rarely see as an accessory, gives her some extra energy and regen there. Going to be able to disable troops just about at any given time between those two war gears. I wouldn't be surprised at all to actually see a Manticore come on the field. Between those two immobilizing abilities, she can lock down a couple squads and then just drop missiles right on top of them, and at least force a retreat, if not get several model kills as well. Blue team returning the favor, taking out some generators over here. 428 to 405, VP's evening out here a bit. And the red team trying to get up here with both of these anti-blob squads on the field. The Imperial Guard player is going to have to be very careful between the Weird Boy and the Stick Bomb is going to be able to do some massive damage, and whatever doesn't die, those big shooters are going to be able to finish off. Here goes the first volley of sticks, but it looks like our impartial friend saw it coming, decided to get the heck out of there. His base is right here anyways. Why not retreat, heal up, and move back out? That's the thing about this map, is that down on the bottom side of the map, it's not nearly as big of a deal to retreat. You can retreat right back to your base right here, and then jump right back into the action. Looks like Stick Bombers might be trying to get a little base frag in here. They're hanging out right outside of Impartial Face's base right here. Weird Boy taking a lot of fire, though. He's going to have to retreat. I'm not sure if... Oh, I wasn't sure if he was paying attention at first. In the meantime, looks like someone's calling Shees down. It looks like, yes, Dead Mopo lost his Banshees. Retreating through all this fire. Man! And that's kind of the problem I was talking about up here, is that if you get engaged by just about anything up top while you're doing this Gen Bash, deep in enemy territory, it's great to get out both of these gen farms, which they may actually do, but as soon as they hit that retreat, they're going to have to retreat through all of this Imperial Guard army, and if anyone else is out there too, it could be even worse. But it looks like they might get the Gen Bash in anyways. This Weird Boy's in a bit of trouble. Lots of range coming in from behind. Weird Boy hops in the building and starts firing off some nice shots from the windows, but that's still a lot of fire. Even with all that, it's going to be hard for him to get out of there. Catechin's drop an old reliable right in his face, and that does some pretty heavy damage. Commando Knob's going to be going down here, but losing the Weird Boy and the Commando Knob is not going to be worth taking out those couple extra generators. You really have to make a sound judgment before you really push that second gen farm. This one's pretty easy to hit and run, but you go so far back in enemy territory. If you look on the minimap at the base location, all they're going to do, they have just the perfect opportunity to cut you off from retreat there. So you always have to figure if it's going to be worth it or not. Ohuevator paid a pretty big price just to take down a couple generators right there. In the meantime, we've got several players rolling into Tier 3, and Red Team pushing back out on the field with one member of their army already kind of pushed back right here. The Blue Team's going to be hard-pressed to kind of hold their ground against this if the Red Team decides to push hard. In the meantime, we can see kind of just hanging out down here, Warp is. And again, I feel like this isn't really worth it. He's holding these two power nodes, but at this point in the game, power isn't really that big of a problem so long as they have their two natural farms. He should really be pushing this VP right now and not allowing the Blue Team to focus up here at the VP with all three of their armies. Because the Blue Team's just ignoring the power down there and allowing themselves to focus completely on the two armies up top. And oh man, we see Purgatus already happening right here. A beautiful looking Let the Galaxy Burn, taking out hitting about 2 full armies right there. And it looks like the Inquisitor actually decided not to go for a Manticore, as I was predicting, with those those disabling spells, those various cantrips she has up her sleeve, and went straight for the Purgatus armor, which we saw just a moment ago with that nasty Ring of Flames, doing massive damage and stunning anything that's directly in the ring after the ability fires. Blood Crushers, or Blood Letters rather, Blood Crusher already obliterated. Blood Letters getting pushed out of here. Too frail to deal with that massive pile of range right there. Knob's already on the field for Ohuevator. Some commandos hanging out down here in the middle. Gonna be doing some nasty damage to anything that retreats here. And Commando's gonna be some more excellent anti-blob to deal with all those guardsmen. Weird Boy already back on the field here. Or sorry, that's the wrong Weird Boy. That Weird Boy didn't die. The other Weird Boy, Ohuevator's Weird Boy, went down. Red team pushing back out with lots of ranged firepower, doing everything in their power to try to hold some VPs. They're down by about 100 VPs, but we're already 15 minutes into the game, and it's still 419 to 309. 100 points up for the blue team, but really tons of points left considering how far into the game we already are. Oh my goodness! I don't know if you saw that, but the Inquisitor just unleashed a Purgatus and completely obliterated a Stormtrooper squad there, and it looks like we've got some D-cannon fire over here coming in, and man, just obliterating. Oh, just big abilities firing all over the place already. We had a D-cannon shot take out some shooter boys, a foot of Gork on the VP, doing some heavy damage to some squads over there. And already this game's kind of kicking into high gear as people are ferociously battling for these 2 VPs right in front of either base cluster. Some nasty looking improvised explosive devices doing some damage to the Warp Spiders. Meanwhile, Altark's going to be running around capping wherever she can, trying to keep those VPs advantage in Blue's favor. But everyone's sitting tier 3. Everyone looks like they're just going to be going for some big nasty stuff at this point in the game. D-Cannon already on the field. Singularity is so very good in 3-on-3 games. Altark getting caught out of position between, well, just about everything right here. No players being frugal at this point in the game. Everyone's just saving up and spending whatever they can. A beautiful looking warp throw coming in right on top of what I believe is going to be a singularity here. Everything standing right in the middle of it though, and oh no! Orky bits everywhere. Oh dear. Oh, Bits is my favorite. D-Cannon already paying for itself here. Second D-Cannon now coming onto the field. Doing some excellent artillery damage with all these range squads hanging out. Looks like we have a battery pack heal. I'm pretty sure that's what had to be on those knobs. That's the only thing that would have healed them so quickly. That battery pack is extremely impressive heal on it. Another singularity getting fired off there. Might pull those catechins in, and it does! I hope that's a friendly explosive. It is. But a couple of those catechins are going to go down to some Altark swings and possibly some Warp Spider fire there. In the meantime, up top, Orcs and Chaos facing off, but there's a lot of fire up there. Imperial Guard backing up the Chaos as well, and Ohuevator realizes that if he sticks around, he's just going to lose that engagement horribly. Way too much range damage for him to deal with. And that's kind of the game of Angel Gate once you get to this late point in the team games, the 3-on-3 games, is kind of figuring out where you need the second support player. You need one player down here, one player up top, and then you need to figure out whether your kind of mid-player needs to be supporting the top or bottom sides. You can kind of push all 3 mid here when it gets to the super late game, but it's really hard to hold this consistently on either side for both bases for the long term, because it is just right in front of the base cluster there, allowing any of those team players to just come right out and immediately stop you as soon as they heal up at their base. Purgata's going off once again, taking out, oh man, a nice pile of heretics right there, just on retreat. Probably better to save that for engagements, but I guess if you can get some free kills, there's no real harm in it. She's got her extra mana and regen armor, so... Or sorry, that accessory, rather. Ogren's on the field right now, N7 with double catechins and some Ogrins, along with his normal guardsman. That's quite a force to be reckoned with. We have a rocks already, but combined with a creeping barrage. Oh no, it actually may have saved those commandos, or sorry, not their commandos, the warp spiders. That XR got knocked out by the creeping barrage, and a little bit of disjointed play right there from the red team. We can see once again Legendary bringing on a Chaos Redditor. Gonna start seeing some vehicles come onto the field. Another squad of Catachans coming onto the field for Mr. Disappointed Face over there. Oh man, a nice looking pile of grenades almost completely obliterating a guardsman squad. 29 VP, or 29 HP left. Way more than 29 VPs. And a Baneblade rolling out into the middle from our impartial Imperial Guard player. Baneblade gonna be a pain to deal with in the middle down there. Can kind of just hang back right in front of the blue team's base and just pour fire. Drop those Baneblade shots and Demolisher Cannon into everything. Gonna have to start falling back as Knobs move in though. Of course, perfectly equipped to deal with Knobs. That Inquisitor right now with the immobilizing shots right there. In the meantime, blue team once again getting gen bashed from the top of the map. Blue team seems to kind of be losing the top more often. They've been holding the VPs up till now, but made a couple top pushes overall though. Seems like they've been getting pushed back up there as the red teams focus more of their powers up top. Stick bombs on either side now, hurling sticks into the piles of army we see at either side. Catachan Jevils taking some fire, but ultimately finishing off that Chaos Lord. Too much firepower there to really deal with. Slugger Boys look like they're trying to take the VP, but they are not going to make it. They need to retreat right now, and they're not going to do it. Down go the Slugger Boys for Ohuevator. And another foot of Gork right on top of Catachan Devils. Doesn't do too much damage as they had already hit the retreat pretty much. But we do have a Siege Chaos Predator pouring some fire into that Baneblade. Of course, it is going to have to fall back here shortly. It's not going to be able to deal with the Baneblade on its own. In the meantime, oh man, did we have another rock strike up here? Something big just happened up here. Lots of squads retreating. Ogrins, oh man, I don't know why they fell back. They could have finished off that stick bomber bullet right there and finished the squad off. Warlock went down up top. Catachan Devils hanging out stealth. Both squads watching that top VP, picking up the Chaos Lord, and in the meantime, Red making another push, trying to put some pressure on this Baneblade and at least force it back into its base. Looks like we've got a bunker coming down. I'm sure that's going to be a repair bunker. Manticore on the field for the red team and just going to start dropping rockets right on top of that Baneblade. It's huge and an easy target. It really can't even move out from under a Baneblade strike when it comes down to it. And we have the Avatar on the field as well for the blue team. Blue team went tier 3 pretty quickly. Ohuevator not going, however, for the super unit right away. Bring in the Orc tank onto the field. And actually, I think an excellent purchase because all of this stuff up here, really just some heavy AI. Anti-infantry fire up top. Have a singularity going off, scaring away the red team, at least for the time being. Allow the Avatar to move in and take out this turret up top. That's the second turret that was dropped up here. The first one got taken out, I believe, by a rock strike that was dropped. A nice Pergatus stunning the majority of the red team's army. Looks like those Catachans in a lot of trouble. Heavy turret goes down. And oh no, we're having a Wailing Doom, and it's going to finish off those Catachans if they're not quick. Oh man, and down they go. Completely taken out. Blasted into oblivion by the Avatar. And the looted tank's now on the field up here as well, and there's not too much that the red team's forces can really do up here. A nice pile of sticks, a nice volley going down there, taking out a couple Chaos Marines with the Marcus Siege. And down bottom, let's see what we've got going on here. Stick bombs and everything else going off, trying to finish off that bunker. Desperately trying to repair to keep the constant repair going off on the... Oh no, it looks like it fell to a friendly fire D-cannon shot. Foot of Gork going down and everything just exploding all over the place. Red team can't quite make the push here and finish off this Baneblade still. Even without that repair bunker, that Baneblade's going to take a long time to whittle down. not too much anti-vehicle on the field as of yet. Mechboy there with his Beanie Death Gun, but really, that alone is not going to be able to stop too much. Mechboy also upgraded with the Super Tough Beam, which it looks like he just cast it upon himself. Another Manticore strike right on top of that Baneblade, doing nice damage, especially in combination with that Mechboy's Beanie Death Gun. Another Pergata's going off, and here come the Catachan Devils, which gets stunned right there by the Weird Boy. Trying to do some quick burst damage on the Weird Boy. I'm not sure why he's not retreating. There he goes. I was about to say, if those Catachans get even one more volley off right there, it's going to be all she wrote for that Weird Boy. Oh, man. And look at those Commandos getting taken out by those Catachans. Might actually... Oh, no, they do not escape. They try to drop a Burner Bomb, and they kind of had to retreat right through it. Combined with all the Catachan fire and melee, that was not what they wanted to do. Legendary bringing another tank onto the field. In the meantime, this Baneblade still stopping any kind of concerted effort from the red team. Super Tough Beam going down on the knobs, but that Baneblade's in a lot of trouble, taking Manticore fire down to about half health as everything is closing in on it right now. In the meantime, up top got a little bit of a standoff. We can see, oh man, looks like we've got a Fire Prism on the field as the red team pushes in down here. It looks like we're going to have a Singularity go on, but it might have gotten canceled as the D-Cannon got dislodged right there. If you stop the setup before the Singularity actually goes off, it's going to be canceled there. So a good play stopping that. Baneblade's looking in a pretty tough spot right now. However, we've got an Imperial Abyss going down on top of the Orc Knobs and pulling back in that D-Cannon. It looks like it's going to finish it off too because it got that platform. Oh man, a nice grab there. And it looks like, oh man, this looted tank needs to fall back, but the Chaos Pred just took fire from the Commando Knob. I didn't see him back there, and takes it out before the looted tank goes down. Level 7 Commando Knob with his rocket launchers, nothing to mess around with. You can see he just obliterated that Chaos Pred in a couple shots with the help of that looted tank. I thought the looted tank was actually going down to the Siege Chaos Pred, but it looks like that was not the case as the sneaky Commando Knob saw to that. Looks like Chaos Heretic's just barely getting out of there with 9 HP. Oh no! I spoke too soon, turned into bits from Old Reliable. Knobs on the field, but very low on HP. They probably should have tried to get a little further away from that melee before they hit the retreat. 209 to 174, and we still... I can't call this. It's still anyone's game 27 minutes in. Fire Prism down here constantly dropping knockback shots. Pergata's going off. It's just nothing but huge abilities here. Everything's exploding. Another Singularity getting activated right there on the knobs. They were already knocked down. Didn't even get any more knockback from the Singularity. You just saw the huge chunk of HP come off there as it got activated. Wailing Doom getting launched once again. Gonna hit a little of everything here and take out maybe a knob or two. It looks like they all got back up though and only managed to lose a couple guardsmen. Manticore finally on the field. It needs to be launching shots whenever that Inquisitor immobilizes a squad. Drop a Manticore right on top of it. Red team and blue team both just battling back and forth. I mean, you can already see the battle-scarred map right here. It's just craters everywhere. Bloodletters on the field. Legendary actually pretty low right here after losing 2 tanks in a row down, and that Heretic squad that just got obliterated. Bringing another tank onto the field. Might be on Overwatch. Has both of his Siege Chaos squads still on the field though. That's pretty good for him. Those Siege squads do crazy damage when they're bedded up. And 2 squads of level 3. Always gonna be a problem. Look at them just tear through that Avatar. They do pretty heavy damage to all armor types, even that super heavy infantry that the Avatar does have. Might actually go down here if it doesn't escape. Those stick bombers need to finish off that Bloodletter. Oh, but it looks like the looted tank steals the kill. Avatar goes down, however. And that's a big loss for dead Mopo right there. And once again, we can see Legendary getting pushed off there. Got a little too cocky, pushed up a bit too far. Not able to deal with this Fire Prism. Fire Prism's so good on these big 3-on-3 maps. It can really just stay way back and just pour those shots into the enemy forces. Oh man, in the meantime, another Foot of Gork going off, combined with the Manticore shot, finally finishing off that Baneblade as it slowly spirals out of control, and apparently Shootaboys are enough to stop a Baneblade from moving. That's kind of ridiculous. Oh no, but a counter mana core shot takes out the looted tank of Warp. And that's 2 tanks for 2 mana cores, 1 kill each. I think that Baneblade's worth a bit more on the kill points though. Meanwhile, double Catachans still tearing up the field right here. Oh man, a beautiful D-cannon shot taking out the Nob and a couple of his buddies. All reliable, clearing off that Land Raider carcass and trying to pick off one last Nob, but didn't quite pull it off. 2 members still standing. In the meantime, Lord General getting pushed back by the Warlock and the Commando Nob. However, they don't really have too much to deal with this tank on their own right now. Ogren's going to be able to get the top cap, but they have to retreat instantly unless they want to start taking losses, and that's something you never want to do with Ogrens as they are so expensive. Chaos Pred takes a Haywire grenade, but manages to get out of the firing arc of that D-cannon. That D-cannon firing so far while in that garrison, but the stealth Commando Nob might be netting himself another Predator kill as he's moving into position. Locked on and fires his shot. Even while in melee, he can fire that. Always something to keep in mind. If you're getting engaged with your Commando Nob, use that lock-on shot and it will take out... Oh no! Speaking of getting taken out, launched right out of that building by those Stormtrooper Meltas. Melta's actually doing massive damage to anything in buildings. They do full damage to any garrison squads, oddly enough. Warlock popped his Providence already with Providence now. I guess not already. We're 30 minutes into the game. So allowing him to go invulnerable and cast as much as he wants throughout that. Oh no, a beautiful looking bombing run, taking out maybe 2 squads of Shootaboys and the Stick Bombers. Oh no, Warp is down to just 2 squads, or 1 squad and a sub-hero. D-Cannon taking lots of fire from these Siege Marines, has to cancel its Singularity. Manticore strike going down on that as well, but there's a Battle Wagon on the field, and I think we're seeing super units from everything on the blue team right now. Dead Mopo still float. I mean, everyone's just got tons of resource. Everyone's trying to figure out what they need to build to deal with these kind of crazy compositions that we have on the field right now. Everyone's tier 3, so there's lots of big stuff on the field, but you can't just go for the big stuff. You need those supporting units as well. Looks like Stormtroopers might escape if that Nob doesn't quite snag the last swing, and he doesn't. And look at that Battle Wagon. Got the Death Roller running all ready to go. Not quite taking out any squads, though. Ran over quite a few guardsmen there. Chaos Lord trying to scare it off, but those power lightning claws not going to do too much to it. Nob's trying to chase down the Siege Marines, but unable to do so as they hop inside of a garrison, and still 199 to 96. Red team looking like they might be in dire straits here. Got kind of a dismal outlook, down by 100 DPs and not really able to hold too much map right now. These Catachan Devils just tearing up anything they engage with the help of the Baneblade. Baneblade can hold them down. Catachans can knock them back. I mean, melee is just not going to help at all against this Inquisitor right now, no matter what you have. But we have a nice looking pile here. Oh no, that wasn't a creeping barrage. It was a rocket run and it's killing everything. Oh no. That was all 3 of the Inquisitor's infantry squads. Now, just onto a better place in life. Completely wiped off the planet by a rocket run. Beautiful rocket run right there. Nice defensive Manticore strike. Missiles going off almost immediately. Those Knobs should probably just turn around and finish this Manticore off before they get suppressed, because they are going to get suppressed here momentarily. Demolisher Cannon goes off, but oh no, a beautiful play! Another nuke going off, taking out some more squads of the blue team. Unfortunately for the blue team, however, it tends to just... Or unfortunately for the red team, very fortunate for the blue team, that Imperial Abyss does nothing but eat Knobs all day. Didn't pull in the Shuriken. Didn't pull anything else in. Knob's going to go for the kill on this Baneblade. Are they going to get it? They only need one more swing. It looks like the Chaos Lord just used his Malignant Blindness and kind of cut off view from that Baneblade. The Manticore, oh man. There is no Manticore. I was getting ready to say the Manticore for the red team could probably just drop something on that right now. But unfortunately, the Imperial Guard Inquisitor needs to get a squad onto the field that can repair that Baneblade, because nothing's happening right now. that can kind of fix that thing up, and you don't want to lose it at this stage in the game. It's really all that's been keeping them secure of the middle of the map right now. That battle wagon doing a great job, and oh no! It looks like we have a big, nasty, great unclean one over here. This Terratoid monstrous thing facing off against the Eidolon of War from the Eldar player. A battle of super units here at the top. We actually have super units for all of the blue team and one of the red team on the field right now. 3 of them on the screen right here, but duking it out. And it looks like we have an Elder Storm on the field. It looks like, oh man, just dropping it right in the middle of the battle. Didn't actually do too much to that great unclean one. Probably should have saved that for maybe something else. Manicore Strike going down on the battle wagon. Commando Knob getting tossed aside, finally getting taken down. Oh man, and a beautiful Wailing Doom. Destruction everywhere. Flesh Hook going off from the great unclean one. Orc battle wagon in position, just dropping fire everywhere. You can see the Lord General using his flak jacket ability. I forget what that's called. Incoming! Reducing some damage to his nearby squads. Another rocks coming down there. Might not actually take anything out. Doing a little damage to everything, but not getting any squad kills, I don't think. Super units for the win indeed. 84 to 15, or 184 to 15 in blue's favor. Red team going all out, trying to get some VPs. They can't lose a VP for more than 8 seconds at this point in the game, or it's going to be all over. Knob's going to die right here unless they fall back. That is not what the red team needed to do, is lose a squad of Knobs. Rocks going down simply to stop that cap. It's really Red's only chance to try to stop that. Our frowny-faced friend, or rather our impartial-faced friend, brought both of his captions back on the field. They're not going to be nearly as effective, though, as they're not vetted up as they were previously before the Rocket Run took out all of the Inquisitor's units. And End for All really changing the tides with that. Despite how many squads the red team has taken out right here in these past couple engagements, they're way down in VPs. It's going to be very difficult for them to hold the game from this point forward. Looks like they're doing a good job of starting that out, though, by maybe taking out this battle wagon. If they can take out maybe a couple of these super units, they can probably take the game. 173 to 15 right now. Really, blue team just needs to focus on getting a couple of VPs. That's all they need to do, and they can finish this game up nice and quick. Between the Knobs and the Weird Boy, they're kind of shutting down this Eldar setup weapon game that the blue team's playing right over here. Between the Avatar up top and the setup teams down bottom, Dead Mopo doing a perfect job of playing the middle player, really able to support both fronts right here. Another Siege Chaos Predator. This has to be, what, the 3rd or 4th Chaos Predator we've seen on the field from Legendary. And a couple Heretic squads on the field as well to help support that Great Unclean one. As it goes into the Worship, alright, it will outrun that Avatar and buy some time for that Chaos Predator to pump some shots into that and the Knobs. Oh man, we see Providence once again on that Warlock combined with the Ethereal Slasher. Actually, I don't think he used Providence. He just used the Ethereal Slash, knocking everything off of that VP. Unfortunately, there is a stun that went down, but that Inquisitor's not going to be getting out of there. Not with all that melee. Not with Knobs and Ogrins on your tail. You are not getting back to base with that. Up top, it looks like that Great Unclean one might be going down. He's trying to escape. Knobs are in his retreat path, though, and I don't think he's going to make it home. He's trying to drop some vomit, but it's too late. Down he goes. It's like we're having a blood sacrifice come onto the field and start trying to finish off this Avatar. It might be a 1-for-1 trade as far as super units are concerned. The Eidolon took the victory over that corpulent creature, but he does now fall to the demon summoned by the blood sacrifice. A nice play there by Legendary, allowing the red team to finish off another of those super units. Both the Battle Wagon and the Avatar went down. Baneblade's still on the field, however. Dead Mopo, not with really anything that can stay out on the field, but so much supporting fire from everything. They can just kind of sit in their base and bombard this point. just a constant cannonade between the D-cannons and Baneblade. Singularities going off, Demolisher cannons, you name it. It's obliterating the red team, not allowing them to get the cap, but the red team's buying time. 140 to 15. They haven't whittled away too much here. Setting up a Chaos Shrine of Corn here. Gonna be able to defend that VP constantly with a pair of Bloodletters. Over-Dare being used on the Knobs to flank that Baneblade, and it's gonna be in a lot of trouble if it can't get away from them. Warp Vomit going down. Knobs struggling as they have been constantly getting shut down by the Inquisitor. Knobs just really not going to be able to do too much. I think Warp may have made a mistake by investing in all these Knobs throughout the game. They've been doing some damage, of course. They're Knobs. They can't not. But that Inquisitor and Warlock just seem to be shutting them down pretty hard. Another Ethereal Slash, and these Knobs need to back off before they lose the squad. Red team needs to hold on to everything and play perfectly from this point on if they intend to win the game. 100 points. They are starting to tick down blue team's points, but they're going to have to hold it for a while longer. Blue team has a Warp Gate up at that top VP, so the second red team takes their eyes off of it, they're going to lose it. Blue team trying desperately to get the cap over here. Those Ogrins and Knobs aren't going to allow it, though. Mechboy needs to switch off of his Beanie Def Gun and switch back to his normal Def Gun so he can suppress these Knobs and lock them down, keep them from getting anywhere close. Knobs in a lot of trouble, having to retreat through double Ogrins and double Knobs. Man, red team not going to make it easy for the blue team to finish it off. Manticore dropping some fire on that Chaos Shrine. Not really doing much damage, but it looks like that D-Cannon is going to be able to finish it off in another shot. Chaos Lord needs to move in and take that thing out. 79 to 15. Looks like Warlock's going to go in for the cap. He might have Providence up at this point in time. He looks like he's pretty determined to capture it despite the Chaos Lord barreling down at him. Chaos Lord gets a nice knockback with Kill the Weak. Going to prevent that cap. He needs to do everything he can because there's nothing the red team can do about the Warlock right now. Constantly knocking back. Chaos Lord has 2 or 3 knockback abilities now with the Armor of the Inferno. There goes the Providence. Warlock tired of dealing with that. Chaos Lord might be going after the D-Can. No, he turns and stops the cap with his final ability, Armor of the Inferno, dropping the Let the Galaxy Burn. Another Kill the Weak, and he's just cycling his abilities to keep the Warlock off the point. A perfect play there by the Chaos Lord. There's nothing he can even do about it. He drops the Ethereal Slash, but the Chaos Lord doesn't care, and the Warlock is forced to retreat despite trying to catch with Providence. Oh, that was so satisfying to watch. There's nothing more frustrating than losing the game to an invincible hero capping. Either him or the Hive Tyrant or the Inquisitor. There's nothing you can do about it, and it's so frustrating. And Legendary just shut it down completely. Knobs desperately trying to cap that point. 34 to 15. Knob Squad goes down, however. There's just too much knockback on the field for them to cap the point, though. Even though they're invulnerable, they're not immune to knockback. However, the blue team still has a chance to bring this back. However, they're getting very low. In the meantime, red team's done an awesome job of staying in this game with 15 points. 23 points, ticking down a 1-0 cap for the red team. Altar coming down on top of that Weird Boy. Is he gonna get out of there? I don't think he is. He's out of control. Even if he had, that Wailing Doom would have finished him off without question. Creeping Barrage going down up top, preventing the cap once again, and that's everything that the red team is doing. They're just staking everything on holding that top VP. They will use all abilities in their arsenal. They have nothing to do but stake everything on stopping the caps. Blue team secure. This Baneblade has not gone down. Been just a boon to the blue team. Nothing's been able to stop that thing. It's gotten so close to destruction so many times now. The Inquisitor has lost so much, but been able to keep that Baneblade on the field despite massive infantry losses throughout the game. Red team struggling to get the cap right here. Those guardsmen gonna have to fall back or sacrifice themselves one way or another. Chaos Lord's trying to get the cap, but it looks like another... Oh no, Eldritch Storm obliterating his own team's Knobs there. May not have been the best choice to drop that right there, as the Knobs probably would have knocked that Chaos Lord off there after a few swings in melee. All 3 red heroes up top trying to get the cap. 15 to 15, we're even up, folks, with an even VPs 1-1 and an uncapped central VP. And I don't know, it's still anyone's game. The red team has next to nothing left as they're just sacrificing units to get the cap. But if they can get the cap, it won't matter because that'll pretty much be the game. Commando Knob going for the cap right now. Avatar backing him up. And this might be about it. Here comes a creeping barrage, however, and knocks him off. Once again, the VP staying neutral, and we still have time left in this game. Chaos Lord going down to the Avatar. Lord General trying to get the cap with a looted tank coming in. Warp Spiders. Oh my gosh, Rocket Run going off. Oh, there's no way the red team's going to be able to hold this. They need to maybe focus on the bottom, but there's just so much over there. The Baneblade, Eldar, Artillery. That may be it for the red team. The final hero goes down right there. Mech Boy is dropped. Oh my goodness, and as soon as the cap goes down, that might be the game if the red team can't do anything, and I really don't see them being able to. They just put everything, just sacrificed to the gods to try to get that last cap in, and they just couldn't do it. There goes the cap for the blue team. Red team's doing everything they can, but it's just not going to happen. The last few VPs tick down, and once it hits 8 VPs, there's nothing you can do. It's not enough time to capture the point. Blue team's going to take the game, and what a game it was. Holy cow. Tanks, super units, nukes, you name it, it happened. Wow. And 15-0, and for all, declares the blue team nubs despite being on the losing side. And wow. I'm out of breath. That was a long game. And man, Angel Gate, how about it? I do love Angel Gate because of that kind of constant battle that happens endgame just right here in the middle. Both bases are so close that it's just a constant back and forth struggling for this map. And look at how fortified this natural VP is for the blue team. 3 tanks, and we'll count the Baneblade as 2 more. So 5 tanks right there, shuriken weapons, artillery, and that just about sums it up right there. This point was really never in Red's hands, and Red did a good job, or Blue did a great job of constantly stopping the decaps over here. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the game. I know I sure as hell did. Remember to submit your replays to me. Email them as soon as you can. I love watching them, and I love casting the good ones. This is Red-Rupee. Feel free to like the video, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it. I will catch you guys next time.